Cinco, CS. What's happening? West Coast, TO, the best with the Geo flow, the hardest scoring, senior artist live and direct. I do this shit for a check. I am the bro with the beard, and you're listening to the Bro with the Beard podcast. Thank you for coming to check me out. I appreciate y'all. How y'all feeling today, night, and morning, whatever time, whatever day, whatever room you have to check this out. I don't know where y'all at, what y'all doing, but if you're doing it with me, then I appreciate you. You know, shower talks, y'all listen, y'all support. I appreciate. We're just gonna go straight into it. I ain't finna waste y'all time. Man, I just had to do that. Sometimes you just gotta get a breath, man. Sometimes. That ain't even the point. But everybody, before we start talking, just take a breath right now. Listening, I wanna say hey, but right before we start talking, just at the count of three, just one, two, three. All right. So today's topic is willpower. Something that for me is a structural thing, but for a lot of people it's something that they really don't understand. A lot of people have no will. A lot of people have no power. And willpower itself is something else when you combine those words together. Um, to have will, to have the ability to see and to make a decision and to have discernment in your decisions and to be focused on your actions and to actually get to your points and achieve your goals based on you having that structure um, is a hard thing for a lot of people because to have will, to have willingness, to be able to express, to consent, um, is not an easy task for people to have. Power is a whole different thing. It's a stronger thing. But will itself, a lot of people need support, and they need that support because they don't have the will. When you hear the word, I'm not talking about the written will when you pass it away, but the same will that they speak on is with the same spelling, referencing the will, like when they say the will to live, the ability, the energy that you use to actually push forth that goal. Do you have the strength and the mental power to do so? A lot of people need so much and just the will to do so and to continue is very important in these steps. Like if you have some plans on your table and you have some people that's working with you and they're supporting your thoughts and they're with you on what you're doing, and you're part of the team, and your job is to culminate your strength together and your best assets and to do what it takes to get the job done. And if you're lacking will, then are you going to be motivated to get up and do what you need to do? Are you even thinking in a team effort? Do you have self motivation? Because with will, you have to have a control of the things that you need to do to achieve all these goals, these steps that you want to take. They take more than just the action. And I always speak on these different things because everybody likes to look at the end result. And the end result is cool, but the steps to get there is really important. And the will to do so, the will to progress, the will to get up in the morning, the energy and the mindset that it takes for you to actually put the strength together. You know, you might have supportive people in your life that, help you do things physically, but are they your motivation? Are they your main source of energy? It usually stems from yourself. You have to have the will to even focus on self. A lot of people are not even garnering the power together to say that they had the will to do so. They give up because they don't have will. So then to add power with this will, you have to have the desire and the strength to do so, the ability, the want, the willingness, the energy to continue. So before you connect the power that makes it all work together, are you going to be able to be in refusal of the negative and push the positive at a high level? Is the world going to get in your way like a wall? You know, are you blinded and blocked like Matumbo from the game because you believe what's in front of you too strong and will probably be bigger than you could ever be? Are you feeling inadequate because you don't have the will People say, I don't have the will to survive. I don't have the will to bear through this. I don't have the. You need to write a will. Yeah, I'm playing with the words. But at the same time, will you have the will to write a will? That's a whole nother conversation. Are you prepared for it? But the will to add the power, the will would have to come first. Now, willpower, we'll talk about that later. But let's discuss this power. I'm not talking about physical strength. I'm discussing the things, the actual things that you use to build up this strength. The physical strength is the output, but internally, the willpower that you need to actually progress is a harder thing. It's the power of your mind and having control of your mind, power to motivate yourself, get your body up to move in those actions, to take the steps that you need, power to motivate, the power to communicate, the strength that goes behind your words, the conviction. Do you have this power? Because there are a lot of people with a lot of good things in them that that can help a lot of people, but they don't really have the power to project this energy to actually be a teacher. They're not good leaders. They have more ability and more power at being a team player. They could put themselves in a position to work with some other people because they don't want to take all the responsibility. And being a leader and taking responsibility doesn't mean you have power. It looks like a form of power over people, but this is not the power I'm talking about. I'm talking about the thing that gets you out the door in the morning, the thing that makes you able to answer the phone and respond and reply to people, the thing that helps you give your job the best, thing that you put into your children and your family. That power that you do to evoke all the things that come from your life, that strength, not physical. I don't care who you could beat up, how many guns you got. I'm talking about that mental power. So now you have this will and then you have this power. And then when you put it together, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different machine. Because for me, willpower is the only thing that separates man. Every man has desire. Every man feels like they want to, will, and might encompass a certain situation in their life. The only difference between that man and the other man is one did, one didn't. The willpower. The penitentiary, the jail system, was built for men who don't have willpower. Laws were created for men who don't have willpower. Men who don't have willpower cannot control themselves. You have to have control of yourself. So if you don't have the will, then there's no control. And if you don't have the power, you can't control anybody else because we know you can't control yourself. So if you have willpower, then you have the ability to hold yourself accountable and move forward with those accounts. Actually take control and take the narrative and take the reins in your hand and move this horse. You being that horse though, not nobody else. We ain't talking about nobody else. We're talking about you. You have to have willpower. You have to have restraint. You have to have separation of church and state. You have to know that everything is not for you and take real accountability of yourself and know that the things that you're doing, you're going to have to stop so other things can happen. You know, there's a man who wanted to beat this nigga. I want to beat his ass. That mindset. But he went home because he had willpower. The other guy went and got into a fight, got his ass whooped. He in jail. He lost his job. His car got towed. All because he didn't have willpower. Beautiful women around the world. Hope that we find a way to protect your mind, emotions, body, and your spirit. But I know there's a lot of men out there that take advantage of y'all, and they'll go out there and think with the big R, and they'll go out and rape. Now that's a man that has no willpower, because anything that's for you will be given to you. So if you feel like you got to take it, then it's nothing for you. It wasn't for you to begin with. And if you're fighting with those kind of demons where you feel like you got to take something, then we know you have no willpower. You have no control. You have no structure. And that's what's needed in every community. So without willpower, a man is just a male. And a man can make a decision. That's the one that has willpower. That's a man and willpower. man. Male, that's the person that need help with all their decisions, all their steps, because they don't know what the right thing is for some reason. Adults, we know that what's right and wrong, but a lot of people act like they don't. And that's why they have the judicial system and police and judge and the court and all this shit for people who feel like they don't have no control of themselves. Sometimes people have to take medicine because they don't have control of themselves. Some people need counseling because they don't have control of themselves. Some people find uh, religion because they don't have control of themselves. They need some kind of straightening, like the Migos song. They need straightening. But before you get some straightening from somebody else, you would have to have the willpower to get up to go and ask for the help. This is where the conversation gets deeper, because if you understand what will is, you understand what power is, and you understand what willpower is as a third catalyst to those two conversations, it's a whole different thing that you have to learn how to develop within self. And some people in your family and your upbringing could help you get to that level. They could teach you what those things are by observation, but it takes your own self experiences for you to actually even get to the understanding and the knowledge of what willpower is. Because your biggest fights is the things that you go through that you can't control. And those things that you can't control is only based on if you can restrain yourself from falling victim to them. Everybody lives in the same environment, same world, and the things that we see and the things that are available to us are available to everybody. Might not be at the same time, not to be at the same capacity or same volume, but it's available. So you falling victim to it and you allowing it to take over the person that you were previously is only based on your willpower and your lack thereof. Like, I have a fight that I deal with, and sometimes I know that I want to put something else on it. I want to blame it for and other reasons and other situations. And it's really just my willpower, my ability to resist certain vices and certain things that call for my attention, things that I don't need to give my energy to. And emotionally, physically, mentally, that's all willpower based. It's the will to not do it and the power to separate myself from it. I have to learn how to do that. Everybody goes through something like that. There's something that's advice to you. It might not even be a detrimental or a drug or a negative street thing. It might just be advice to the credit card or the phone or some or wasting time. Like, you have to have the willpower to actually stop yourself, recognize yourself first. You have to recognize who you are and see where you're at in that position to be able to look at yourself and recognize that you're doing things that are going backwards when you're trying to move forward. So you have to make that change and then have the ability to make a plan that moves you out of that same step. That constant stagnation is why you're losing. And I'm not calling you a loser, but you can't win in that position. So if you think that the change that you want to make is in front of you and you know you have the ability to do so, what is stopping? It's your willpower. Some people gonna go out tonight, have a good time with their friends, go have some drinks. Some people might get inebriated, altercation might happen, engage in fisticuffs. Now, what would be the thing that would stop you from engaging in that fight? Would it be you think you could whoop this person? You think they could whoop you? You ain't you pissed off. You don't want to deal with it. You got your girl with you. You wasn't prepared. All that, you can say all that. All that is just willpower. You break down every reason why you will and what you won't. It's not about the word will and will not and the ability to do so. It's will and the will not, and mentally having the ability to say, I don't need to even be involved in this situation. Yeah, I will beat your ass, but I have the will to not be even be into a fight. I have the power to separate myself from altercation, and I have the willpower to not even be in environments that have me fucked up like that. Like, the steps that you go through to separate your life from the negative is only based on what you're willing to resist. Are you fighting with yourself daily? Is the issue just you versus you? Because sometimes with me, it's just me. There's nobody else there. It's just me. Like right now, it's just me talking to you, but it's just me. And I'm reflecting on who I am and what I've gone. Same way you do. And we look at our steps and the decisions we made and think about, man, I could have said this, I could have did that, but we didn't. And the outcome is what it is. And the reason it turned out that way is probably most of the time is because of the willpower. It's like, did we have resistance over self? Did we stop ourselves from making the wrong move, knowing that the move was not going to progress us to the next journey, to take us to the next realm? Shout out to the baby mama mafia. You know, if I'm not in that right realm, it's never going to work. You feel me? But did it progress you? And most of the time, we're not thinking ahead of ourselves. So if you're not thinking ahead of yourself, did you even prepare yourself to know, okay, this is not going to progress me, so I should remove myself. I should find a way to get myself out of this. Nope. You just engage. You just head first, swimming in bullshit. Now, the outcome of that bullshit, you can't even be mad at because you're in the interim of it, you had a chance to make a decision and you didn't have enough willpower to separate yourself from the negative. And you can see the negative coming. You can smell the negative coming. You know, everything gives you a sign. Your body, time, air, space. You go outside, you can smell the weather changing. There's a sign. Something's going to give you a sign. There's always going to be a way and a reason where you're going to be able to see what's going to happen. It's not magic or metaphysical. It's not even that deep. Just pay attention. Most people don't do that. That's why they can't recognize the fact that they've lost the will. They'll sit there and conversate with you and give you this fake conversation and make you believe that they're strong, that they're ready to go. But they're only putting on this front because they don't want you to see that they need help, that they've lost the will to push and keep going. You know, your uncle about to pass away, he's sick, and the doctor telling you, well, he's lost the will to keep going. That means that the strength that they knew his body had to actually heal him, he stopped using. At a certain point, he felt like it was too much and he gave up. And and that works mentally, emotionally, and physically. Because if you're in a state of hospice or whatnot, and you're in an older age and your body is weak, and all you have to keep you going, to keep those machines pumping and keep your body going is your will. It's not even the strength. Your health is bad. All we need you to do is have enough energy within your heart just to be just strong minded. And be like, okay, he got a lot of will. He's strong. But this ain't picking up no fucking car strong. This ain't no bench press strong. This man does not want to let go and will not. And that will is what people lack. That's why we always envy older people. Because we realize all the stuff they went through and they're still there. And when we're in our youth, we kind of take advantage of the time and we don't build these character models, these understandings that we've seen our uncles and our grandparents and our parents have and the things that they've gone through. And we try to ridicule and clown and joan about, their attitudes about certain things, but we don't really understand the structure and the things that it come from. And I'm not saying that everybody's attitude is justified, but it's a lot of times the things that we haven't gone through, it makes us lack understanding. And that lack of understanding will not really show you why these people have built this strength against these certain things because they had to build willpower just so they could build whatever they built for you. Like if they were your family, your parents, support system, your guardian, and you see them go through adversity and you see them pass that adversity, understand that was dexterity, that was willpower. They had to have the ability to build strength. And during the situation, they might not have been that strong. It might have hurt. It might have been war, but they got through it. And the only reason they got through it, even with the lack of knowledge, lack of resources, lack of information, they still got through it because they knew they had to. It was not an optionary situation. You have to learn that the willpower is what it is. You could think it's about money, you could think about it's who you know, all that stuff. But I give you a bunch of money right now, right? Do you have the ability to hold that money? Do you have the ability to invest that money? Do you have the ability to put that money in a positive resource? Do you have that? No, because you don't have the will. That money will be burning a hole in your pocket. All this stuff you want. You need willpower in so many situations. I can give you a million instances where everything you do in life is based on the willpower that you have to make the decision. A lot of that bullshit you got in your house right now, all them Amazon boxes, all them the subscriptions you got that you don't even fuck with, them little $14 and $17 they keep getting from you. You just don't have no willpower to not spend the money. You think that it's a good deal because it's on sale. A good deal is saving your money. But you want to be part of the economy. You're a consumer because you don't have no willpower. You know, you called her back because you don't have no willpower. He texted his phone even though he disrespected you because you didn't have no willpower. You over there at Walmart at 11:50 buying a upside down 7-Up cake because you ain't got no willpower. You calling the powder man again in the same day because you ain't got no willpower. That shit lying. You gotta have control. Remotely control yourself universally. You know, play on words, but real conversation. I have control and I lose control sometimes, and I'm working on that. So I'm speaking from a place of understanding that control is not an easy thing, and I'm not gonna never tell y'all that you got to do something that I'm not gonna do myself. Tower used to have no control of his eating habits. Tower was a fat ass. Tower was 420 something pounds. Tower almost died, arteries clogged up with fat because I had no willpower for the plate. I was eating good in the streets. I was eating good in the music business. So I was eating good on my plate. And my body was, suffering from it. I had no willpower. I had no willpower with my actions and my movements. I used to spend my money frivolously. I didn't invest in my craft. I didn't get equipment. I didn't buy things that I needed to further my career and my youth. I didn't have any willpower. If I got it, I spend it. Felt like I was going to die soon. I didn't even have the will to live because I didn't believe I was going to. I didn't even have the power of understanding to be able to control the narrative, grow, to know that I could make a plan that would keep me here for a long period of time because I lacked willpower. I didn't even know my real power. I didn't even know I had power. It took me a long time to even uh, recognize it, respect it, and then actually learn how to utilize it because my willpower was low. I was really willing to try so much. Now I wasn't trying my sexuality, no disrespect. I wasn't trying narcotics, no. But I was willing to see what the world had to offer based on naive assumptions and trying to believe that I was the biggest and the best of whatever that I did before I even made a good attempt at it. But the thing that I didn't do was use that same mindset and that same gall and tenacity to put into my knowledge and education so I could have the ability and the power that would encourage the will that would give me everything that I wanted in these steps that I wanted to take. But I wasn't able to put all these things together. As I was growing, as I was a youth, I was misguided. I had misinformation, aware of that. But as I grew, as I got older, I realized that most of the things that I put in front of me, all the walls that I thought will stop me and all the fake hate and this dude ain't and these people ain't and they said was just me not having willpower over my vices, taking time to focus, taking my own initiative, taking my own steps, and then being steadfast with that and being hard on myself at the same time. I was very lackadaisical on putting pressure on myself because I just thought I was good at shit. And I am. I ain't gonna take it away from you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm very good at everything I do. That's why when you see it, it looked good because I worked on it. But I had to learn that I need to have willpower to sit there and put hours and time and 10,000 hours into it and get out of the novice side of it and doing things for kicks and learn how to do things for commerce and learn how to be able to be competitive in certain situations. All that took willpower. It took mental structure. It took time. It took repetitiveness. That took a real plan. I had to template my mind. I had to really get into a zone of focus. But none of that happened until I actually understood what the will to do so and the power to possess it and the motherfucking mindset to get through it was. Because then the willpower together, get up every day and say, yeah, now I'm on my shit. I'm about to get on my job. It's time to do this. I got something to do. I got shit to accomplish. I got deadlines. I got people waiting on me. Yeah, all that stuff started to matter when I believed that I had the ability to do so. But I didn't believe because I didn't have the will and I didn't have the power. Then when I gained the willpower to resist the bullshit, all the other things that I wanted came to fruition. I was able to achieve everything. And I'm still learning every day that the things that I want to achieve are only based on what I'm willing to resist. I'm motivated by my patience. I have to have the ability to wait. Things don't come when you want them to do. They come when they need it. But by being in a rush, you don't have no willpower. By trying to argue your way in the position, you don't have no willpower. Trying to push leverage on things that you don't control, you don't have no willpower. I can wait because I can build. I can develop. I can actually see it through. Rest in peace to Jack. I can see it through. I really understand that if I build this plan, build this foundation, learn this ability, and push forward with consistency, I can achieve it. But I have to have the willpower not to fall off, fake it, try to cut corners, do it somebody else way, look for a shortcut, all this old fake shit. I have to not do that. I need to do exactly what needs. I need to look at the backstory. I need to read about it. I need to get the origin story. I need to learn about the history of it. I need to be fully involved and enthralled in this thing. And to do so, I need to have the willpower to get off my ass, go hard, take no excuses. Don't be no punk. Don't be no bitch. I'm saying, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, if you are like me, which I know you're not, if you're like me, then you know it takes a lot to do a little. It takes a little to do a lot. And think about what I'm saying. All the people that you envy and people that you hate on, you probably mad because you don't think they doing as much as you doing, and they getting more out of it. All that is wrong. Your perception of everything is misconstrued. Anything that somebody else is doing to get what you want, because they're doing what they need to do to get what they need. And that's what you're seeing. You're just envious of what they already got. What's stopping you from getting what you need? Are you in comparison? Are you a hater? Are you just against what it takes? Do you even know what it takes? Have you took the time to research? Have you been reading? Have you looked into it? Have you found a professional that's in that field and discussed any of that with them? And if you say no to all that stuff, why? It can't be a money thing. We live in a world where everybody walking around with a computer in their hand and can get access to knowledge real quick. There's a lot of programs, a lot of websites, a lot of apps where you can talk to professionals, and a lot of fields, a lot of events in most people's cities they can go to randomly and meet people and interact. What's stopping? What's stopping? It's not the willpower that's not stopping you. It's the shit that you don't have willpower over. Yeah, you didn't go to sleep early last night. So you didn't wake up early this morning. So you couldn't be there on time. You didn't have the willpower to resist being up doing bullshit. So you got high and drunk with your partners. So you don't know how to control your high. You don't know how to sober up. That affects your work and your action. So you don't have the willpower to not do that tonight so you can do something tomorrow. And people needed your help. You didn't feel like doing what you were supposed to do. You resisted the actions that it took for you to get to the next step. So then you was behind. You was late. You needed to make a stop right quick. They waiting on you. Why? Because you didn't have the willpower to get up to fold and be ahead of yourself. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. You got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. You niggas want to jump off a cliff with no parachutes and then be mad when you hit the ground. You could have prepared for the impact and been had cushions and motherfucking mattresses down there. You niggas don't be thinking. Y'all watch shit and don't really understand what you're seeing. Most time you watching shit and you looking at the end result, not knowing you looking at a prepared step, a contemplated step from every part of it. None of that shit was by choice or chance. Your mind is playing tricks on you. You niggas don't have enough willpower to cut the TV off, cut the phone off, read something, learn something, absorb something. This willpower shit ain't about power and will and a nigga named Will Power. It ain't none of that shit. It's about you having the mental strength to take initiative to move the bullshit out the way. The willpower will stop you from absorbing the other shit that's slowing you down from your actions and your completions. Nigga, this ain't a game that I'm talking about. I'm talking about real completion, like completing your task. Most of you niggas can't start to finish. Like, think about it. Probably got 700. I got all this shit going on, bruh. Why? Why you ain't finished the first thing you got going on? Why you taking on more tasks? Because you don't have the willpower to resist it. You can't say no. So what you gonna snitch? You gonna do some dick in the booty shit? You gonna steal? What you gonna do? Because you can't say no. You don't have no willpower. That's what you are thinking. I'm talking in a business professional sense. But when I think about willpower, if you don't have willpower, nigga, you have no resistance against these demons. You subject to go do all kind of shit that I don't fuck with. Nobody in my circle gonna fuck with you. Can't be around my people when you talking to them boys. I don't care if we all squares around here. What you discussing my business with some other people? You know what I'm saying? You running to go tell the bitch. You over there telling your man where we was at. Woo woo. You texting folks, giving them the location. I work in a business where you come to a lot of stuff and they tell you put a phone in the bag and put a little tag and a number on it and you get it back when you leave because you niggas gonna try to expose too much. You putting the business out there. We work for $1 million movie set and we shooting Star Wars 19. You think they're gonna let you come in there and take pictures of all the new sets and all the new motherfucking designs and the new Star Troopers and shit and put that shit on your social media, nigga? You're putting too much game out there. You don't have no willpower. Resist that shit. Let it go. You gotta learn how to hold back sometimes. Everything ain't for everybody. This willpower conversation real deep. 2 shows. You got to dig deep in yourself and hold back. A lot of information you don't need to tell nobody. Have the willpower not to let the niggas know what's going on until it's done. Yeah, I know you niggas want to flex as soon as you get the call, as soon as you sign the paperwork, as soon as you leave the building, as soon as the bitch texts you, as soon as the nigga drop you off. Hold that shit in until you get a completion in the game. Finish the job first. See it through to the end till it's over. Then discuss about it. You can talk about all the aspects, how you felt about it, what your insight about it when you first started, all this shit. But if you start talking to us pre-game, when you first started, you all high in your emotions, you feeling yourself, then the shit start roller coasting, you going up and down, and you finna crash, you finna quit, all this shit. You don't have the willpower to resist spilling the beans. That's snitch energy right there. And it ain't about no street shit. It's just about, everybody know snitching that happen in the corporate world, talking to folks about shit that don't need to be talked about. But do you have the willpower to resist, to give people business? Like if you was a therapist, you was, sitting with your clients every day. Do you go home and talk to your wife about all your clients' business? No. Uh, confidentiality agreement signed. You're not going to discuss that with nobody. This is private. That's how you got to be. You got to have privacy within yourself. You got to learn how to succumb from spilling the beans about everything. You ain't got to put everything out on the table. Everybody don't need to know everything you got going on because you don't know what you got going on because you talking about it before it even started. You finna talk yourself out of it because you don't have no willpower to see it through. You need gratification instantly. You need a nigga to acknowledge and support what you're saying before you even started so you can feel good about yourself. Why don't you feel good about completion? Why don't you hold yourself back and have the willpower to actually do the job, the task, the action? Y'all listening to the podcast right now. I got to see it through. I got to record it. I got to edit the audio. I got to promote it. I got to market it. I got to upload it. I got to see it through or y'all don't get the content. Excuse me. It ain't going to happen if I don't do it. I got to see it through. I got to finish the job. Y'all waiting on me. Then what I'm going to do is say, well, I'm going to get to it. I got y'all. Don't trip. No, I'm actually got to do it before y'all. I got to do all this ahead of time. When y'all listen to this, it's already done. I done already seen it through. I done already did my job. I had the willpower. I didn't go do something else. I didn't go get something to eat. I didn't go kick it with my partners. I didn't go to the little event. I didn't stay in the bed. I got up to get y'all this information. Talk to y'all. I came. I told y'all I'm pulling up. I'm at y'all spot. I keep coming to your house. I got my little blunt with me. We chopping it up. But I could have done so much other shit. Why did I resist those other things? What temptations did I have that I resisted to stop me from coming to record this podcast? Whatever it was, if it was pleasure, if it was fun, if it was business, all it was willpower and staying focused on it. And willpower gives you structure to stay on your job. Like if you get the willpower to start and you take that same willpower and put it into your continuity, your consistency of your actions, you'll have a good outcome. You'll have something to go back over. You have a ticker tape to go look back at. You know what I'm saying? You can do the tail of the tape and look at where you messed up at. But a lot of y'all scared to even, take the first attempt because you don't have the willpower to begin. I don't know what's going to happen. It might not be. Talk yourself out of it. If you don't have the willpower, the strength. And you're like, man, you keep talking about I don't have it. How do I get it, Tal? Now that you don't even want to have that conversation because for you to get willpower, you got to believe in self. You got to go listen back to the other 4-5 podcast episodes and realize that I've been structuring y'all on these things that you need to build within self before you achieve and desire to attack anything. You need to have acceptance. You need to have trust in self. You need to have belief within self. You need to stop lying to yourself. But you gotta have some power over self. Because okay, boom, you do your job, you handle your business, you get in front of the things you want to get to. You start receiving and achieving. All that's coming, right? And they give you the bag. And now you eat and you having it your way. What you gonna do? Do you have enough willpower to not turn into a fucking drug addict, a dope fiend, crash out, become an alcoholic, gamble your money away, buy things that don't matter? That's where you need willpower in so many parts of your life. Having nothing, you need willpower. Having everything, you need willpower because you need to have resistance, discernment over this bullshit. You need to be able to see the wolf in sheep clothing, not be a victim. You need to be able to have understanding. You understand that money don't make you a different person. It just make you the same person with more money. You got to realize if you was a sucker with no bread, now you got bread. You just a lollipop. You just a weenie. You're a corn dog. You're a weenie with bread. That don't make you have willpower. Now you're going to go fall into your vices. You want to do this when you was broke and you only could afford a little bit. Now you got money, you're going to get a lot of that shit. Willpower is the only thing that's going to make you resistant from the bullshit. The dope man see you coming. The nigga who's selling cars see you coming. The shitty jewelry man see you coming. The nigga who know you don't know nothing about fashion see you coming. And you don't have no willpower. You don't want to get an honest opinion. You don't want to bring an expert with you. You don't want to do your research. So they know the first few niggas who get that bread, the first few months, few years, they're gonna get whooped out their pockets because them niggas don't even have the ability to say, hold on, let me look in. They feel like they're gonna look like a sucker or something. They don't have the willpower to resist. They're out here buying coochie, buying fake chains, buying bad weed, buying cars that's fucked up with kits on it with no VIN number, buying homemade guns and shit. Why you just say your money? Not no willpower. Now you hating on the thing that took your money. It wasn't their fault. You just didn't have no willpower to resist. You have to have control. You have to know that you are in control. It's you. It's you. Nobody else's fault. When they take it, it was your fault. If they came and stole it, it's because you told them where it was at. If they hated it, it's because you gave them the information to have. Like, people only paying attention to what they're aware of. And most of the time in your own circle, you only made them people aware of it because you was too zealous. You had to give all the information out there. You want everybody to know. You wanted a response. You wanted all this reaction. When you could have just did what you was going to do and complete it, and that would have gave enough for people to react to. They would have been like, man, I didn't know you. Wow. You couldn't fathom what they would have said if they had seen you complete something. Imagine when you told them niggas you got the job. They were happy, right? But think about when you graduated, how happy everybody was. You know what I'm saying? It's a different form of completion. You wanna look at your life like this. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Whatever you believe is holding you back, that's a lie. If you can go back in the mirror and look at yourself and assess the issues and make different plans, and then you got them plans in your hand and you ready to go, and then you come up with a fake ass excuse right there when it's go time, you don't have no willpower. I don't fight with myself as much as I used to. I used to believe that it was somebody else's fault, that it wasn't me. It's always been me. I didn't have the will and I didn't have the power. I gained power over time by gaining education and knowledge of self, understanding of the man I am, the things that I need to do, and what it takes to develop what's inside of me and give myself strength. I gained the will by looking at what it was that was taking me away from my goal. And I removed those things. And I stopped putting myself in front of things that I knew that would draw me in and be my triggers. Once I learned what those were, I found out that the power that I possessed, I just been in denial of it. I didn't need to learn it. I was actually blocking it by putting so many other things in front of it and giving favoritism to things and value to things in my life that had no value. Then I was able to relinquish my power. And then the willpower came when it was time for me to actually push forward, and those old things reared their ugly heads, and they tried to bring me back into my negatives and into the bad spaces that I was in. And I had the ability to find an option that satisfied me when I thought that the other thing satisfied me, would only just filled up the void that I made for myself. When I removed this fake void and this fake wall, stopped blaming others and took initiative and accountability, I had the willpower to resist the things that stopped me from my steps and getting to the next. And that's me. I'm not you, you're not me. It might not work that way. But it takes time. That's the thing that I want y'all to know. None of this happened overnight. None of this happened in a weekend, over a month, over a summer. None of that. It happened over time. It took me a long time to grow to be the man that I am, and I'm still growing every day. But the first thing I had to realize is that if I don't have willpower, then I'm going to fall victim to myself. It's not going to be nobody else's fault. When you hear a lot of people talking, they're talking about what somebody else did to them, but do they ever take accountability that they did it to themselves? They gave people that power, that position, that platform, that option, that doorway, that window to do those things because they didn't have resistance within self to see the discernment to be able to make a decision, to take 2 steps back. I'm not pointing blame. I'm not saying that it's your fault that you're doing it. I'm saying it's your fault that you keep doing it. We have to change ourselves. We as a people, we as a person, we as the listener, we as the fan, the subscriber, we as Bruh with the beard, we as me. We have to find a way to be better for ourselves, or shit ain't never gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? But today's words, willpower, will and power, we gotta exercise them. I know y'all like to go to the gym, pump it up. That's cool. But when you go home and you by yourself and you all happy about how cut you are, is your mind strong as your body? You know what I'm saying? I'm the West Coast T.O., the best with Geo Flow, the hardest artist in the artist live and direct. I do this shit for a check. This is the Bro with the Beers podcast. Subscribe, like, share. Thank you for checking me out. Go to the link on the link tree. Check out, I got some merch in there. Got some new items I'm going to put up in a minute. Follow me on all social media platforms, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It's all Bro with the Beard. With the beard. Holla at me, I'm going to holla at y'all. I'm going to get out of here because I got some other shit to do.